Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Guys, we're going to continue the theme of some of the previous videos, and we're going to talk about sabr today, patience, right? Because, we've talked about having patience and being patient, persevering, calling people to patience, and subscribing to sabr. But what is sabr exactly, right? It's very easy to say, oh, have sabr, have patience. But what do you mean by that? What do you mean by having patience? What is it? Is it to stay quiet when you're hurting? Is it to not get angry when you are mad? Is it to not cry when you suffer a grave loss? What is sabr? What is patience, right? And I think all those things that I just mentioned, they're virtues of patience. Like they're certainly examples of patience, but that's not what patience can be limited to, right? With like the research that I've done, and with how much I can study, with the little study that I've done about patience, I've come to the understanding that patience, especially in the Islamic paradigm, as we say, sabr, is all encompassing, right? It encompasses everything about your life. It covers every single aspect of your life. It covers the soul aspect, the metaphysical aspect. It covers the verbal aspect of life, how you express yourself verbally, and then how you express yourself physically, right? So if you can cover and if you can have patience covering each one of those paradigms, that in itself is complete sabr, in my opinion, right? So on a metaphysical level, what do you have to do? So you basically restrain your soul. You restrain your soul from impatience, right? So what I can understand from that, because this is something I picked out from an understanding of patience from a wise man. I forget his name. I can't credit him, but he says that you got to restrain your soul from impatience. Now, what I understand from that word or that phrase is that, you know how when we're waiting for something, let's say we've ordered something from Amazon and we're like excited and waiting and nervous, and our entire mindset is geared and focused towards that one thing that we're looking forward to. It is to restrain yourself from that impatience. It is to restrain yourself from acting fiendly, waiting for that one thing, right? So let's say it is that thing that you order from Amazon. Let's say, it's a job that you're looking for, and all you can think of is job, 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 job. And you're extremely nervous. You're like, oh, maybe I could have done this in my application and that would have maybe resulted in something. Like, why am I not getting the email that I'm looking for? It's been 3 days. Like, what's going on? And, like every second of the day is just, you're nervous and you're impatient. And there's a little bit of anxiety involved when you're thinking about that thing. To limit that anxiety, to have tawakkul, to have faith in God at that moment, that, okay, I've done whatever I could do, good or bad, I don't know. I could have done better, maybe, I don't know. But I've done whatever I thought was the best in that moment, and the rest is now up to God. If you can truly internalize that, I think that is what restraining your soul is all about. That is what restraining your soul from impatience is all about, right? Then the second aspect of sabr is to restrain your mouth from complaining. So when we interact with people, right? And I think I've failed at this, certainly in the past few days or in the past few months, where every time someone's asked me, so how's the job search going? Or how's it going in your life? My first instinct has always been to go, oh, the market's bad, bro. Like, I've done so much, I've done this, I've done that, like, but nothing's working out. And it doesn't seem as harmful and it doesn't seem as malicious when you just listen to it. But I believe I could have done better. I could have just said, it's going good, it's going well, Allah is helping me. That's it. That's all I need to say. I don't need to get into the nitty-gritty and complain about how bad it's been, because what's that gonna do? Like 99.9% of people can't help me. Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakil. Only He can help you. He is your sustainer. He is your guardian. He's your disposer of affairs. Like, if I'm going to have sabr and if I'm going to have tawakkul in God and faith in God, then I cannot be complaining about the things that I've done. I just got to do those things and not talk about them. Right? So I think that's where I failed as well, where I've complained about it with my mouth, where I'm not getting a job, bro. Like, it's so difficult. I can't do anything. I've done everything I can. So what? You just keep doing it. That's what sabr is. You cannot say it from your mouth. The only person that you can complain to, and not even complain to him, but be grateful to him and ask him for whatever you're looking for, and ask him to make things easy for you, is Lord, is your God. That's it. You cannot complain to people. You cannot complain in speech. Right? That is my understanding of it. Now, I'm not saying I'm 100% right. I could totally be completely and utterly wrong about this, but I've been wondering, right? Everybody tells you, have patience, bro. Have patience. But I was like, what is it? What is patience? What do I do to show that I have patience? How do I have patience? So I wanted to understand what sabr was, and this is what my understanding of it is so far. Now, obviously, there can be changes. I can think differently, but currently, it's threefold. The first one being restraining your soul from impatience, as I talked about. The second one being restraining your mouth from complaining. And the third one being restraining your limbs from sins. Your hands, your feet. Not going towards sin, even though you can. So for example, I saw a bunch of my buddies, gambling and making money through betting and all that. And I'm going to be honest, right? Like, I thought to myself, this is easy money. Like, I know sports. I could make this money. Right? These guys are betting. I can do this. But that is what you restrain yourself from to show sabr. That thought, you gotta look past it. You've thought it, but you can't act on it. When you act on it physically with your limbs and you walk towards betting, or you use your hands to bet your money or whatever little money you have to make a lot of money, but you don't do it because it's haram. And you know that, okay, right now I'm kind of short on money, right? I need some money to, I don't know, like get food from outside or hang out with my friends or whatever. I need that money for it. And I can make those easy bucks by just betting what, $3 and make like 100 from it, right? And I've seen my friends do it. I've seen my friends make that money, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to restrain myself physically from that just because I want to show patience. That is what God will reward me for, right? Because your risk is written. I can make it the haram way or the halal way. I can make it now in the haram way, in the short way, and earn His displeasure while I do it. Or I can restrain myself, trust in His timing, and when He is going to give me stuff, and please Him, and show sabr. That's what sabr is, right? Sabr in its purest form is called waiting. Delayed gratification, delaying. That is what sabr is. That is what having patience is, delaying. So when it comes to restraining your soul, you're delaying that excitement, that nervousness, that anxiety as much as you can. That is sabr. When it comes to your mouth, you're delaying that complaining for as much as you can till you don't do it at all, and that things come and things work out for you and they come to you. It's just delaying that complaining. It's just waiting. And then when it comes to restraining your limbs from sin, it's just delaying yourself from going to the haram, going to things that are not allowed, that will give you that instant gratification and that instant pleasure. Delaying it, waiting it out till things get better. Right? That, in my opinion, if you can achieve patience in restraining your soul, in restraining your mouth, and in restraining your limbs, the metaphysical, in the verbal, and in the physical, I think that is what complete patience, that is what encompasses all elements of sabr, Islamically at least. I have a few other points which I've made, and it says patience is to hold yourself together. And again, it goes back to it, not complaining, waiting, breathing, having your faith in God, remembering Him when you feel a certain kind of way, because, everybody gets distressed. Everybody's going to feel that anxiety. But instead of going, what do I do? And doing something haram or walking towards something forbidden or saying something that, might sound like complaining and hopelessness, you just remember Him. you remember God, and you remember that you have faith in Him, that you believe in Him, that He's there for you. He's closer to you than your jugular vein. And you hold yourself together. That's what patience is. You stop yourself from doing things that displease Allah. I mentioned this before. And the main concept, because we're humans, and there are going to be moments where we might not be able to be patient, where our patience might run out and we might end up doing something that displeases Him. So if we do that, what do we do then to show patience? By repenting, by coming back, by saying, I won't do that again. And if you do it again, you come back again, you repent again. And if you do it again, you come back and you repent again. If you do it 1,000 times, you come back 1,001 times and repent and do good. That is what patience is. Holding yourself as much as you can. But if you crack, come back, hold yourself again, hold yourself again, hold yourself again. You crack, come back, hold yourself again, hold yourself again, hold yourself again. And eventually God will be like, all right, I can see he's trying, because all my servant, my slave can do is that he can try, and then I can give him. He's asking me, he's complaining, he's crying to me, he's restraining himself for me. And yes, he's failing at times, but at least he's coming back to me after he's failing too. He's not going, all right, I failed once, whatever. Now, like, it doesn't matter anymore. If I made $100 and I failed, might as well make another 100. Might as well make 1,000 now. No, but he's coming back to me. He's saying, I made $100. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I'm coming back to you. I shouldn't have done it this way. I'm going to give that away. I'm going to give that in charity, or I'm going to give that away. Or even if he doesn't do that, if he used it or whatever, he still comes back. God, I made a mistake. I made that money. I gave it away. I used it, but I'm coming back to you, and I won't do it again. And he holds himself, and then his vices kick in. Shaitan's waswasa gets to him, and he cracks again. But he's like, oh God, I've done it again. I'm sorry. I'm coming back again. I'm coming back. I'm trying. I promise. That's the difference between us humans and him, right? We will forgive someone for only a number of times, right? If they keep making the same mistake over and over and over again, eventually our patience is going to run out with them, and we're going to be like, all right, no, we're done. You're done. You don't want to change. You keep going back to it. And you ostracize that person. You tell them to get away. But God is not like that. That's what God's mercy is all great, and he's the most merciful, is because he's not like us. If we make the mistake, he's still waiting for us. Like, okay, you made it, come back. And you come back, and you're like, okay, I forgive you. As long as you're coming back with a sincere intention, I forgive you. And then you do it again. You hold yourself. Because you're human, you make mistakes, and we don't have control over ourselves. And we only have as much control over ourselves as much as Allah gives us, as much as He allows us. We crack again, but as long as we realize that we've cracked and we come back and we repent, that as well, in my opinion, counts as patience. If you guys have watched this video throughout, thank you so much. And do correct me if I'm wrong, because I think this is a very nuanced topic. And I'm learning about it, right? I'm only learning about it. I think I've entered a stage in my life where I want to learn about certain things that are deeper than just the normal things that we interact about every single day. This is deeper. Like, no one thinks about sitting down and truly understanding what sabr is, because when someone's going through a tough time, this is what they'll hear the most. Have sabr, have patience. But what is it? No one ever explains it. What is it? And I want to understand it totally and utterly. So if you have something to add to this, if you have something to correct me about, please do so. Reach out to me. And I will be happy to listen to you. I'll be happy to chat about this, because I love talking about this, especially at this moment in my life. So, yeah, until next time, I love you guys. Have a good one.